Okay, good morning. Today we're gonna revisit our tomato transplant from the previous date, early date. And then what I wanna show you today is the difference between early transplanting, but in a greenhouse versus outside. Okay, given the weather changes. Okay, so today you're gonna see my improvised label. I said 23 days later from transplanting. Then this is what the tomato look like. I'm gonna go slow so you look very closely, see what is going on. I know you might think, what is this type of plastic bar I have put in? This is what I want to use to support the tomato so that they can grow like 3 tomatoes, okay? I always put them earlier. So if you continue looking at close to this tomato planted, transplanting greenhouse, notice that at 23 days, because of warm condition, okay, in greenhouse, they already start bearing flower. Flower is already getting ready to, the parts of flower are ready to come out. So with that, I continue showing you what is going on here. This one seems to have a better pod than the other. If you look close to here, you will see it. Let me point my finger there. You see it. You see, this one has a better pod, bigger than other things. But what is really going on here? Okay, planting things or vegetable in a greenhouse. What is going on here is that you giving them artificial, I use the word artificial, condition for them to do better. Okay, I will show you later outside the tomatoes I transplant from the same plant seed. Okay, I started together, but I transplant them a week later from this one, okay, from this transplant, because out there the weather condition for tomato to do well is not possible because we have a severe winter. It's still very cold after I finished that transplanting. You know, if you look at the condition in California, you will notice a lot of things we go through here, not as severe as what we go in Midwest area, Midwestern area, is not the same. Yeah, in California, we still have a little advantage over warm weather, so we can start things earlier compare with people who are in Midwestern region of United States. So this is why a lot of early uh, vegetable from the market in California always come out earlier. We take advantage of weather. If you remember earlier when I was telling you about all this experiment I'm gonna be doing, there are several factors I will be looking at. One of the factors is that I will consider early planting, given that early planting will give me early yield so that I can target market when the price is high. These are the information farmers or grower always like to hear. What is important to them is how can they get their crop earlier in the market. So if you look at here, The pods are coming out, getting ready to flower, okay, showing that whatever we have in this greenhouse will produce fruit early and ripe early. So you target this early market with high price, and that will be very beneficial to farmers who believe that time is money. We always say this in United States all time that the time is money, but sometimes we don't put it in practice. So this is what I'm trying to show here. That is very important. You value your time. While you value your time, you also value your money. Okay, and in a few minutes later, I will take you outside there. You see part of the tomato, the same tomato seed I've transplanted a week later, but they're still smaller compared with this one because the weather out there are not being controlled like I control them here, okay? Giving them opportunity to grow taller and start bearing pod for flowering, for early harvest. So let's get out there and see what I'm trying to compare you with. But go ahead and visualize um, the size of this tomato here inside my greenhouse. Let me take you around my greenhouse again so you see the type of greenhouse I have. It's just a mini greenhouse made up of plastic cover and then also and other iron material that hold them or plastic. Okay, this is what I'm trying to show. And this greenhouse is not that expensive. I bought it from Amazon, okay, at the cheapest price I can get it. But it's doing the work I want it to do. So let's pause here and then make sure you have put in your mind the size of tomato, the same tomato I'm going to show you outside, the difference in within the time they were transplanted. What is the weather is doing? What is important of weather here is just heat, temperature. I was able to use this plastic mini greenhouse to raise the temperature so that tomato can do very well, rather than subjecting them in a traditional cold condition, which will slow them down, okay, until temperature warms up, okay? So look at, I want you to compare what we have inside this greenhouse. Then let's get out there. You see the other one.